This is a PayPal beware. If you are somebody who uses PayPal or a creator who uses PayPal, listen up. So this post actually was posted in 2022, but it's recently recirculating again, and there's a couple things we need to talk about, and I think it's just important to bring up. So this is posted by LuckFoxo33, writing PayPal banned me and is holding all of my money. This destroys small businesses all the time. A lot never see that money again. Please help spread the word. Fox drew this cute comic to kind of explain the story, as unfortunate as the story is, and it reads, PayPal banned me and has all my money. This is super common for artists and buyers, and they never give a reason why. All customer support is regurgitated TOS. So Fox wrote, my livelihood has been ripped from my hands and I'm panicking. I need others to know to help rally against these scummy practices. I've tried everything in my power to get help and it hasn't worked, so I'm turning to you guys. Fox writes that this can happen to anybody and they choose people they claim to screen and ban their accounts, locking funds for 6 months. It's disgusting and there's no guarantee you can get your money back. The TOS says they can take it for violations, yet refuse to tell you what rules you broke. I encourage people who are infected to write a physical letter to their headquarters. So this is Fox's story. For 2 years, they used PayPal for their transactions so the funds added up. However, when they needed the money, they weren't able to withdraw it. Out of nowhere, PayPal wanted them to re-verify, so they sent their CRA info and was banned the next day. They tried calling, they tried messaging, and they tried Twitter and got no responses or only automated ones. Some who waited the 6 months ended up having their money taken due to undisclosed violations. And unless they threaten legal action, they don't get the money back. They said they wanted to part ways, least disruptful to me and my business, end quote. But taking all your money for 6 months isn't the least disruptful. So it says that 2 class action lawsuits are ongoing. Again, this was posted August 6, 2022. We'll look into this. And the Canadian one was ended last year, but PayPal was sued for charging hidden fees on international transactions. These are both cases of buyers. Creators get hit just as hard and have more difficulty fixing issues. Luigi Pork Buns had an experience. They're a buyer and got banned with no reason given and no help from customer service, even though they've been verified for 15 years. They sent a complaint to the Better Business Bureau, and after sending that, they were unbanned with no message from PayPal. Arctic Space Fox had their first PayPal account on hold for 2 weeks after they signed up and it disappeared. But you can't sign up again with your bank details if you lose access to your account. And they had to spend a week with tech support to fix it. So BirdTE went through a similar experience. They also, 2 days before their ban, had to verify their identity. A passport was sent, but they couldn't make a new passport due to the fact of the Ukraine war. And when they tried to withdraw money, they couldn't use PayPal anymore because there were activity that was listed as being inconsistent with the user agreement. The storytelling and the art is really cute. So a bunch of other people had bad experiences with PayPal. And the final update for Foxo, thankfully, is that they were able to get their money back. They had to contact PayPal dozens of times, and PayPal reviewed their account and was like, oh, we had no reason to ban you, and they were waiting for their account to be reinstated. And then they got an email from Discord where a Nitro payment went through, so they know the account got unbanned. That is their experience with PayPal. What about these class action lawsuits, guys? Well. We have this class action lawsuit on the Rosen Law Firm, or rosenlegal.com, listing a lawsuit from February 9th, 2017 to July 28th, 2021, which accuses PayPal Credit being non-compliance. There is this, SeegerWaste.com, where it's listed as PayPal Securities fraud class action lawsuit from February 3rd, 2021 to February 1st, 2022, claiming PayPal inflated numbers to deceive investors. And this page was last updated in 2024. Then we have this class action lawsuit, PayPal fees antitrust. So it lists that the PayPal TOS stated that merchants were not allowed to tell customers that paying through PayPal and Venmo is more expensive. So that is called anti-steering rules. And apparently, Visa and MasterCard were sued in 2010 for their anti-steering rules and lost. This was happening in 2023. There is also this consumer class action lawsuit filed against PayPal for a security breach that affected 35,000 people, which happened early December 2022 due to a cyber attack. And this article by Colin Cook also lists that PayPal was accused of mishandling disputes and failing to post payments in order to pay consumers $15 million back and a $10 million penalty. This is the most recent one that I found, classaction.org from 2025, where PayPal has another class action against them for allegedly using the Honey browser extension to poach influencer sales commissions. And there was a big expose against Honey this year as well, but this seems to be the most recent class action lawsuits. PayPal seems to be absolutely up to their eyeballs in class action lawsuits. If you can, try to avoid using PayPal. Other ways to accept payment include Stripe, include Cash App, I guess is not really the most secure thing either. But another commenter on Twitter writes, I won't lie, quote, guys don't use PayPal, end quote, tweets low-key piss me off because what else are we supposed to use? Like, genuinely, not everyone is North American. And they add, some of you guys are kind of missing the plot. This is about the artist community and commissioner-client relationships, saying use Cash App, use Venmo, which Venmo is owned by PayPal, by the way, so that kind of does defeat the purpose of this. Use Revolt bank transfer doesn't work because even if you can use them, it massively limits your client base. And that's completely fair. Being able to say don't use PayPal, it's a very fair statement, right? Like if they're under this many lawsuits and there's issues of them holding money, not using them is on paper the most ideal solution. The problem is if you're outside of the US, the amount of payment transfer systems are just less, especially if you're working internationally. As in you have a US customer base, but you're based, I don't know, in China, not the best example, in like the Philippines or something, right? Where typically if you're working globally, PayPal, unfortunately, is the best solution so far for money transfers. It's just the most widely used. A lot of times, if you don't use PayPal, you do limit your customer base because your client is going to be like, well, I only have PayPal or Zelle, so pay me through those methods. I don't know. Honestly, the biggest thing I recommend for you guys is this is posted on Twitter by InkFi, and InkFi writes, as a reminder for everyone, PayPal is not a bank. When the commission is finished, that money should be transferred immediately. And that is what I firmly agree with. A lot of things in this world acts as a bank, even though they're not technically a bank. They don't look like a bank. Basically, bank takes your money, holds your money, and then they will use your money to go invest in a bunch of things. And then when you want your money back, they will give the money back. Hopefully. A lot of things in this world operate as a bank and you don't even know it. You know, Starbucks, their like card reload system thing, that's a bank. They take your money. It's a whole separate conversation about Starbucks we can have. But the way it operates, they have a digital card. You load money onto it, your money that now sits in Starbucks, and they hold a buttload of money from all of their customers. You can use the money to go buy drinks. Haha. They're holding your money like a bank. PayPal is essentially doing the same thing, right? Money gets transferred. PayPal holds all of your money. And then you can withdraw your money to then put it into your actual bank or something, whatever, right? Wherever you put your money. They act as a bank as well, except minus a lot more of the consumer protections that a bank would actually provide you. I truly, truly implore you, if you can, don't keep your money sitting in these pseudo banks. Don't keep your money, if you can, sitting in PayPal, especially substantial amounts of funds. You don't have the protection that an actual bank will afford you, right? Highly recommend you just withdraw the money the moment money's in there and put it into your actual bank account. Same with the Starbucks reload card thing. Don't keep a lot of money on there. When you put the money there, you as a customer, you're gonna think, oh, that's my money. I always will have access to it. You may think that. The company thinks differently. And that is the issue. If you have like a Mercari selling account and there's just money sitting in your account from the money that you've earned from selling stuff, please withdraw that instantly. Don't just leave it sitting there, please. Anytime there's a situation where you have your money sitting in a pseudo bank, do not recommend you leave it there. Really don't. The 6-month like chargeback window is scuffed as hell. The big thing is I always recommend people don't spend money until your PayPal money, that is, until you pass the 6-month window. People can refund it all the time. I once did a charity stream, not gonna name the person, but they donated $500 to the charity stream. The way I did it, and I shouldn't have done it this way. This was like the first time I ever did a charity stream. So this was like years ago. I did a charity stream and raised like over $1,000. Somebody donated like $500 and I did it all through PayPal. So everybody paid me through PayPal and then I took the money and paid it directly and then they charged it back. Again, I'm totally obviously super down to donate to charity, but it was just kind of like, oh, what the fuck? Wait, right? This was a charity donation. I gave proof that I paid it to the charity, right? All the money that was donated in that stream went to the charity. It was just kind of weird. Yeah, you end up with a negative account. I would just let it sit in your bank account if I were you, but don't spend that money if that makes sense, right? Like, hypothetically, somebody paid you $100 for art commission. They have 6 months to charge it back within PayPal. They technically have more. Beyond the 6 months, they can dispute it with their bank or their card as like a fraudulent transaction. Sometimes it does still work. But within 6 months, according to PayPal's TOS, they can charge you back for it. So if I were you, I personally wouldn't let it just sit in PayPal. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I just don't feel comfortable putting any money in these like pseudo banks. They're not banks, but they do hold money for the reason that they can bottom out, and you can't get access to your money again. And some people make the argument, they're like, well, I need need the money, so I have to spend it. If you are in that situation where it's kind of like really paycheck to paycheck, I'm really sorry. It's a really like rough situation to be in. I would try to encourage you to try to get out of that situation as fast as possible if you can, because it leaves you in a position to be exploited by other people. And that's just scary because there's many stories of artists who need money and then like they do a commission, the commission's for like X amount of money, like $100. They need the money for bills, so they spent it immediately, and then the person charged it back, and then they were negative $100 or something because of the chargeback. It's just a messy, messy, messy situation. Truly, when the money hits your PayPal account, it might feel like it's your money. They do get 6 months to charge it back, which is very risky for you as the person receiving the money. So, what are your thoughts on the entire PayPal situation? Do you use PayPal, and what steps would you take to protect yourself? Just be careful, truly. If you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on VGen or Etsy. I sell digital art there for streamers and creators. I also have a coffee with free resources for streamers and creators. And I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So I hope to catch you guys there or in another video.